Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Cheers. Good morning, everybody. What's happening? What's going on? Good afternoon, everybody. What's happening? What's going on? We are going to start today's Q&A on Instagram because, oddly enough, we've been growing on Instagram. Every time I post a video, like I posted that video, the Dave edit from yesterday, every time I post a video like that, I gain like a couple hundred followers. Literally. I was below 3,100 today, and now we're at 3,212 and growing. It's kind of crazy. I don't understand it, but here we are. All right, got the psych juice flowing. Psych juice, what am I talking about? Stoked juice. We're stoked here. Get stoked, stay stoked. We got to figure out a different word. You guys comment down below a word that I can use other than psyched or stoked, because those are also other vloggers' things. I don't want to steal their stuff. Not a huge fan of psyched. I like stoked. I say stoked a lot anyways, but I need to find something that's it's ours. It's fun. It's mine. Okay, starting on Instagram. We're going to go to the messages. We're going to go to all. Top requested. All requested. And we are going to go through them. First up, from a random name, S1620W. Don't know how you came up with that. Maybe it was randomly filled, or you're from a different country. Who knows? I was wondering if you had any tips to deal with mental fatigue while exercising, particularly running. Mental fatigue for me while running is, it's just, it sucks. We're going to be honest for a second. It sucks. It's not fun. Running it's tough at times, especially when you're doing distance stuff. Today, why I was neglecting this video, why I had to make another 3 cups of coffee is because we had 350s today, and 350s do suck. They're fatiguing mentally and physically. I didn't cry. You cried during the 350s. I didn't do that. Anyways, the distance stuff is what gets me. I get really, really bored running around in circles. So for me, one of my ex-girlfriend Lauren, you guys know her, still a great friend, she would hate to go on runs with me if I had music in, because literally music is like a cheat code for me. It takes my mind off of my breathing, so my mind just focuses on the music. My legs just do what they want to do, and my legs love to run. Apparently my mind doesn't, but my mind's just listening to the music or a podcast or something. So if you're looking for like a simple solution to work about mental fatigue while exercising, listen to some music, listen to a podcast. If you're lacking in motivation, go to YouTube, download like an MP3 of a motivational speech that you really like. I downloaded one from Muhammad Ali because he's one of my heroes. So I listen to the Muhammad Ali one on days when I don't really want to go run. I just throw it in immediately, I get motivated, and boom, we're out there running. Then I switch to music, bust in a couple hot miles, and we're out there. Hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't, I apologize. Daniel Greer. I'm a huge fan. Challenging. Decathlete. Coronavirus. It has been very challenging being a decathlete during coronavirus. Me in particular, not being able to throw or use the facilities, high jump, pole vault, long jump, any of that stuff. Literally just hurdle because we have hurdles and it's been on grass. But now we're back at the track, so I get to do shot put a little bit. So if I have any tips on how to get faster or training programs that could help, I think that is something that, oddly enough, I would like to branch into. You guys know me. You guys know what I do for a living. It's not really anything. I need ways of making money because that's just how you live life at times. You need money, and money always helps. And I feel like I have a plethora of knowledge, and I just need to like jot it down into a bunch of different things, or like create maybe go through 1 week at a time, go through like a 10-week training block of like what I think a hurdler should do, what I think a sprinter should do, what I think whatever should do, and then just like maybe even 5 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, something like that. Would you guys be interested? Seriously, like actually seriously, would you guys be interested in something that having me, like I wouldn't necessarily coach you indefinitely, I would put it out there and allow you to follow it. You'll either be happy with it or disappointed with it, but it would be like an upfront fee. I don't know what it would cost. Maybe like a 10-week program would be like, I don't know, like $150, like $15 a week. I feel like that's pretty generous. Now that I'm putting that together, $15 a week. 10 weeks. It's like a couple months. Maybe we'll go 5 weeks for $15. Seems more accurate. Anyways, something like that, just so that you guys, like, hopefully the question. Scratched my leg and now I'm bleeding. Hopefully that would like help with the tips and stuff. Anyways, tips for on how to get faster in training programs because you're struggling in the hurdles. Work on over the top of the hurdles. Start at lower heights until you get it perfect, then go up to the next height, and then you get it perfect, and then go up to the next height, and then you get it perfect, and eventually you'll be at 42s, which is the professional height. And I don't think that you're probably hurdling at the professional or college height yet, but eventually you will be. But don't go up to, don't like, oh, I'm a high school hurdler, let me just start off at 39s, because your form's going to be horrible. You're not going to be able to get to the hurdle. I would work on hurdling with hurdles a little bit reduced, because you're not going to be able to hurdle at full length, because you don't have the adrenaline of a race. So hurdle at something reduced, work on getting your feet down, jump rope, do some quick drills, and then work on proper positions, and just like generally getting faster, stronger, faster, sprinting better. That made no sense. Matt P. What's up with the apple cider vinegar shot after the workout? Apple cider vinegar shot was just to wake me back up. I felt like my gut was kind of like bloated, didn't feel great, hadn't been eating very well, had been going to California and coming back, so I was always eating like chips on the way, doing whatever, just sitting down a lot, not necessarily working out a ton. So apple cider vinegar shot, boom, hammered that thing, and then we got on with our day. Vegan protein powder. I reached out to a few companies. The one that was kindest to me, not that they sponsored me or anything like that, was Huel, Huel. So I'll give them a recommendation, and maybe if you end up purchasing their vegan protein powder, sorry, this is Bentz Rosenberg. Bentz, if you end up purchasing their protein powder, maybe drop a hint that I was the one that set you on with them, and maybe they'll reach out again. They were honestly very, very nice, and like really enjoyed the content that I produced, and they were just they seemed like honest people. Other one is Orgain. Orgain is very good. I think it blends the best. I've never had Huel. I can't speak for the taste of it, but Orgain blends best and mixes well with pretty much anything. I just always throw it together with water and just down it as fast as I can, because we chug things here. We're not going to chug the coffee because this is some coffee I need to do a review on. This is some expensive stuff. And by expensive stuff, I mean it comes in little 50-gram bags, individually packaged bags, 50 grams, not even 2 Chemexes of coffee. Anyways, so vegan protein powder. That's what I'm going to recommend. I can link both below, but that's if I remember to. So I apologize if not. Stefan Barakian? Okay, so you're a two-sport athlete. You play lacrosse and football, and you asked if you could go D1 in track. I honestly don't know if that's a joke. I don't care how fast you are on the football field. There's a difference between fast on a football field or fast on the lacrosse field and Division I track. If it was a serious question, I would say no. I don't think that is possible. If you're asking if you could just be a two-sport athlete at college, that is possible. Liz Brenner played 5 sports at the University of Oregon. She was amazing. But to like ask if you could run D1 after never running track, division like that one to me doesn't necessarily make sense. I ran track from 4th grade and barely got a D1 scholarship. Not barely, but you know what I mean? Never run track before. Okay, so he says, I have noticed a lot of elite decathletes have very, very similar body types, specifically their BMI, such as Ashton, Cedric, and Trey, and myself. I've looked up the weights and the heights for each of them, and their BMIs are all between 23 and 25-ish. My question, I'm just wondering if you have ever noticed the same thing, or do you know elite decathletes who have a much different body type? Example, much taller, shorter, muscular, leaner, etc. P.S. Appreciate the content or the comments on my hurdle montages. The question though, have I ever noticed somebody else having a different body type? If you look at like Solomon Simmons, Solo has a crazy big physique. He's a very large individual, but for the most part, I would agree with you. A lot of people, outside of like, even Brian Clay though, I guess he was a little bit smaller. So decathletes can really be anybody. And Brian Clay, you would say, oh, he's a little bit smaller, he's probably not going to be very good at throws. He has the world record in the discus. The dude is he's very, very good decathlete. Hence why there's a whole decathlon named after him. Anyways, to answer your question, I think that the physique of decathletes can change rapidly. Not rapidly, but it can change, or it can be different, not change. It can be different or anybody can really be a decathlete. That's what I'm trying to say. Anybody can be a decathlete because it just doesn't take like one specific thing to be very, very good. You have to be like kind of well-rounded at all of them, and I think that's why there is a certain physique that kind of rises to the top. But there are bigger decathletes, there are smaller decathletes, and there's like the middle of the road guys like myself. But even my dad in college would make like a comment, or even in high school would make a comment that like the elite decathletes, which I'm going to call myself an elite decathlete at the time, we would all kind of look like twins. Everybody was relatively the same height, above 6'1", or 6'1", or like above 6 foot. Everybody was like roughly between 175 and 190 pounds, and everybody was like fairly lean and muscular. You didn't have these massive guys trying to run the 1500. You can't have a super lean guy or super skinny guy trying to throw a shot put. So there are some outliers that have been very successful in the past, but there are also the generic middle that all kind of fit the same structure. Great question. I like that question actually a lot. Good one, Mal. Okay, I think that's all the questions from Instagram. We are now going to go to the YouTubes. This one, the YouTubes. Growth isn't great on the YouTubes as of late, but randomly, okay, explain. Y'all, that was already zoomed in. I need to zoom in more. Explain to me how I make a video about a crappy little scale. Not crappy, it's a fine scale. It works fine for weighing you. But how do I make a video about that? And then I title it, My Best Hurdle Edit Ever. Posted at a random time. And it's just literally a screenshot of the edit with Dave in a crown. And it's my #1 most viewed video out of the last 10. How does that make sense? Okay, Nathaniel. Would you still commit to Oregon for basketball if I were to have chosen basketball? As I'm assuming what you were asking. Yes, I love... yeah, I probably would have. If I would have pursued my basketball career, I would have either ended up at like a smaller school in Oregon, or the University of Oregon, or gone to the University of Oregon at first and then potentially transferred. But for me to like have chosen the basketball path would have made, like, I would have had to made that change in my sophomore year of high school, because I developed really, really well all throughout middle school. Like my 8th grade year, I was getting D1 college coaches asking if I would potentially be interested, so they'd give their card to my mom. Once I was of the age that I could contact the coaches, they were like, please contact us if he's still interested in playing at our institution, that kind of thing. So in middle school I was elite, I would say. High school, freshman year, averaged like, I don't know, however many points JV, played like 13 seconds varsity, made 1 point, like literally scored 1 point. Sophomore year, started varsity, did all that fun stuff. So I would have had to have like made a little bit bigger of a jump my sophomore to junior year and been a little bit more focused on that, and like really, really tried and like done the same work that I did in middle school. If I would have done the same work that I did in middle school all the way through high school, I have literally zero doubt in my head that I would have been Division I, gone Division I, then either played somewhere overseas, which I probably could still do right now, go play somewhere overseas, or be in like G League or a league like that. Like, I was by no means a slouch in basketball. And that's a story for another day, but I was insulted the other day playing basketball. Haven't played on outside courts in a while. Double rims got me. The wind was in my face. It was tough. I'm making excuses, but I got beat. I don't like losing. literally makes me want to go practice right now. But my heel was also pretty messed up. Heel's pretty much good now. No pain while running. Big plus. We'll see when I try and jump off the ground and just blow it up again. Mitch, you should do a hurdle critiques on your channel to connect with your friends. Hurdle critique as in hurdle critique of my athletes? Or not my athletes, sorry. Of the athletes in our group, because we have a coach for that. A hurdle critique for you guys would be interesting. We could do a live one potentially, if you guys were up for that. Leave the comments down below. I think live could be something that could be fun. Instead of doing like a Wednesday video, maybe throw like on Wednesdays, because everybody's in quarantine, or not quarantine, but slowly people are getting back to work. But the majority of everybody is still either off school because it's summer now, or they're not allowed to go to school, or they're online schools. So maybe at like 5 o'clock, we just hop on YouTube, go live, and answer you guys' questions, as well as do some like hurdle feedback, or just, I mean, any kind of event work feedback. But that's another option. So lots of options in this video. Another question from Lions Plays. How did you get on the national team, and how do you get in contact with the national team? So how did I get on the national team? I placed top 10 at the U.S. championships, like the big U.S. champion, the big boy ones. I've done that for the last 5 or 6 years now, been top 10 in the country, as far as like actually scoring there. And then, what else? Oh, how do you get in contact with your national team? You don't get in contact with them as much as they just get in contact with you. They'll figure out your name, they'll figure out your number, they'll figure out everything they need to know to get in contact with you if they really want you on a national team. What is a good lift or drill to increase your explosiveness for jumping events? Another thing I would like to do. I am actually a certified personal trainer, which doesn't mean a lot, but I did take the test, I did study for it. I am certified legally to coach and advise people in personal training and fitness, which is interesting and probably something I should capitalize on. Bubble. Light bulb. The only thing is, oh, okay, sorry, I should get to your question before we dive into this. Your question. I would say Snatch is up there. Snatch is a great lift. Do it carefully. Start with a lighter weight, build your way up, work on your shoulder stability. But it's a great way to like actually get your hips through. Cleans or clean high pulls. If you're looking for explosiveness, you're not necessarily looking to move a ton of weight. You're looking to move the weight efficiently and effectively, so you're moving it fast. And then maybe like a hex bar deadlift. I'm going to go away from like RDLs or just regular deadlifts, because it's going to kind of put your back in a compromised position. If you're using a hex bar, you're kind of put into a better position for you to not be bent over and slouched. Your hands are by your side, and so you can be really explosive with that. So load it up with a weight that you can do comfortably, 135, 225, 315. I probably wouldn't even go as heavy as 315. Maybe stay at like 225 and just try and move the weight up and down as fast as possible. Be careful, don't jerk your back. Make sure you have load on the bar before you try and move it. And then like single leg stuff. So I like single leg squats, lunges, that kind of thing. Something that's going to force you to be stable in those muscles that are going to surround your main joints, so your knees and calves and stuff. Calf isn't a joint, Mitch. Knees and ankles. Something that's going to force you to use those smaller muscles. That's going to better your ability for takeoff, whether you're playing basketball, football, long jump or triple jump or anything like that. In your Instagram interview, you mentioned that at Oregon you spent 1 day training on core work only. What was a typical training on that day? So that was going to be, that's strictly for like lifting. And it was a program that my friend, who is also working with the University of Oregon football team, who was studying to be a physical therapist, or was getting his degree in kinesiology. He had written me out this program. He's an awesome dude, really, really hard worker. Also was way stronger than me, so I got to lift with him, which made me better. But he planned a full day strictly for core. So we did a lot of stabilization stuff, a lot of stuff on like a cable machine, because that's going to be where you're going to like fight resistance the entire time. So We're looking for time under tension. We're maximizing the amount of work we're getting out of the effort that we're putting into it. And we just kind of spent a full day doing core work. As far as like training wise goes, we would do like whatever the workout was that day. On Wednesdays, it was probably pole vault and maybe like long jump approaches, and then some flying 50s or flying 30s or something like that. So it would kind of mix it up. But yeah, a full day of core. If you want like the actual specific workout, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll throw that up. Maybe we'll go through a full day of core, and it'll just be like a 7-minute core ab workout that you guys could have. Toy Terminator, yes, the one dude in the backwards hat has insane lead and trail legs on both legs. Oh, you might be talking about Donald. Donald's a new addition to the group. One of Freddie and Jarrett's best friends from Syracuse. He's here for like a month. He's gonna go back in like 2 weeks or next week. But he is gonna be a 400 hurdler, so it's good for him to be able to use both. If you're talking about Freddie in general, Freddie is very, 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 very good at lead and trail legs. I don't understand it. It's music to my eyes. Wade pole vault and the high jump will not be coming anytime soon, as long as I don't have pits. I have poles. I have the ability to high jump. I can jump, but we literally don't have a pit set out or a pole vault pit out. So potentially once things start to open back up, I plan on getting in touch with a couple of the universities that are around Phoenix, and hopefully if they're kind enough, maybe I'll make a video for them or something, they'll let me use their track. So this is the sweatshirt in question. It says Track Town on it, and it's from the Olympic trials. I have it, I think I might have it here, but I think I might have also left it. I really don't know. But the Track Town sweatshirt, I've gotten a lot of love for it. And I've actually considered like throwing it up on my website as like, if you guys were interested, I'd probably sell it for, I don't even know what, maybe like 40 or 50 bucks, but it would just be a matter of like screen printing on. Obviously I wouldn't be able to use Nike, and Tracktown might be branded, so I'd mix it up. But basically selling like, not merch from me by any means, but like track specific clothing. Because I feel like there's not a lot of track specific clothing. So if you guys were interested in that even, leave a comment down below. I'm trying to broaden this whole thing. Take advantage of the space that I have. Yeah, so Mel Masters, I got the sweatshirt from the Olympic trials. Abdul Samad asks, what advice do I have for hurdlers going from 3 feet to 3 feet 3 inches, which is 36 to 39. So we just do things in inches. That's not a huge jump. It seems like a big jump because it's only 3 inches, and it's the same jump from 39 to 42. But the hurdle form doesn't really change that much. 39s relative to the majority of people's inseams while hurdling is not going to be a huge deal. I would say literally continue to hurdle exactly how you hurdled at 36s. Exaggerate the lead leg a little bit and work on lead leg against the wall. So like throw the hurdle up against the wall and just smack your foot against the wall above the hurdle enough to where you get used to the feeling of what a 39-inch hurdle feels like. But realistically, 39s, you'll get used to them fairly quickly. Dylan Burnham, when did I become a multi-event guy? I became a multi-event guy my junior year. I think I did one of them. Maybe, I think it was my junior year I did a couple, or maybe one. Anyways, it was like late in high school. I did a couple. My first one ever, I got last place, and then the next one I ended up winning. Echo. Noah Bollinger. Which cam do I use recording the hurdle videos, and which microphone are you using on your big cam and on your GoPro? I want to start a vlog about track and field in Switzerland. Thank you for the inspiration. So about the GoPro, I don't use a microphone. About the big camera, I don't use a microphone. I use these little like fuzzy things so that when the wind blows, it doesn't sound funky. And then the GoPro is literally just the GoPro. GoPro Hero 8, phenomenal camera. Literally the best entry-level camera out there. I told Ben Thiel, my teammate, to get one. He's loved it, and I'm not saying that Ben's not super techy and advanced in technology, but if I were to just give him this DSLR that I'm recording this on right now, he wouldn't have any idea how to like set it up or use the settings in it. But I told Ben he should get a GoPro because you can alter the settings, but they're like the beginning, just like click, point and shoot, good to go, it's unreal. It really is actually pretty good. Who has the best shoes for practice sprinting training? I would assume you're just asking like what's the best shoe to practice sprinting in. I'm gonna say Nike because that's what I wear. Adidas was a little uncomfortable to me, but I only tested one Adidas shoe, so I can't say either way. Sauconys, when I've worn those, they're very comfortable. Pumas, I wore them once in high school and they broke, so I can't necessarily recommend Pumas, but obviously I haven't worn them since high school, so that's that. Which track and field athlete do you think would have the best chance to make a transition to the MMA? That's tough. Adam Welker, and the myth, the legend. He's our physical therapist, but he also works with the professional MMA fighters here in Phoenix. And he asked the question, who would be the best MMA fighter out of track and field, or who would make the best transition? And it's not going to be a sprinter, definitely not going to be a distance runner. I think the sprinters are too like weak-minded. They would get punched in the face and not want to do anything. Decathletes would probably make a decent transition, but it's not going to be one of the high-level decathletes. It's going to be like that middle-of-the-road guy that likes to like just be out there for the pain of it. The throwers would be good, but they're going to be in such heavy weight classes. Maybe like a leaner discus thrower. Ryan Krauser would be fun to watch in the ring just because he's so big and so powerful. But I would say probably one of the throwers. They can take a punch. They could. That's the thing about mixed martial arts. You're not just punching. You're grappling. You're moving around on the ground. You're throwing each other. You're getting pinned. You're figuring out ways to maneuver. You're flexible. That's tough. And there are weight classes, so I guess some sprinters could get in there. But that's why I said the sprinters, they're all weak. They can't take a punch. Shoot. Maybe a scrappy little decathlete. That could be fun. And then but the throwers would be fun. It would be fun to watch Ryan get in there. Like Tom Walsh would just feel like he'd just throw haymakers, could take a beating. Who else would be fun to watch? The discus throwers would be cool to watch. Realistically, the girls sprinters actually, I would say maybe a girl sprinter. I don't necessarily know who of the girl sprinters because I don't really talk to a lot of the girl sprinters, but I would say that the girl sprinters would probably be, because they're tough. They're tough as freaking nails. I think they would get in there and they would scrap as long as they cut their nails, because a lot of girl sprinters have very long nails. But I would say maybe a girl sprinter would actually be the better transition to the MMA. Yeah. Girls sprinter. Because you look at like a lot of the professional MMA fighters right now, on the women's side, and none of them are like cut up and super lean. They all have like decent, like pretty high body fat percentages. But you look at like the track world, and there isn't a girl that's not, like, that has better abs than the majority of the guys. So I would say maybe a girl sprinter. Yeah. Like Daphne Shippers. I think Daphne Shippers would she would turn some heads if she stepped in a ring. She looks like she could destroy some people. I think that's actually the last question. Sweet. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. I know I said a bunch of stuff, and I'll probably see it as I'm editing, but I'm probably not going to take a ton of time to edit this video just because I want to get it up. It's already 3:04, so by the time I'm done recording this, it'll probably be like 3:10, and then I'm literally just going to throw it in, chop it up real quick, upload it, let it fly, let it go public, not delay it at all. So at the exact time it is 3:05, I'm going to end this video. You guys will see how long it takes me to do all this stuff, get it in the computer, chop it up, throw it up on YouTube. Hopefully I can get it done before 5 o'clock. We'll see. Anyways, remember, be nice to people, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt others, slow down, don't dance so fast. Don't forget to get your stoked juice, as in your coffee. Oh. And I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Okay, bye.